Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Birmingham, Alabama, it's time for Birmingham Business Radio. Now, here are your Business Radio X hosts.
Welcome to Birmingham Business Radio. I'm your host, Lee Cantor, and today on the show we have Keaira Turner. She is with KGT Communication, LLC. Welcome to the show, Keaira.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Keaira, before we get too far into things, tell us about KGT. How are you serving folks?
Okay, so basically KGT Communications is a public relations and social media marketing firm in local Birmingham, Alabama. So I take all types of clients in different industries, such as entertainment, small business, and nonprofit.
So now, as marketing, PR, branding, all this has kind of converged now with the advent of the internet and social media. How do you kind of decide what's the best way to help your client?
So basically, first I sit down with a conference to figure out what their goals is for their business. So just getting a sneak peek and a snapshot of what they want to accomplish and what do they see going forward. And then from that aspect, I see what type of branding, or do they need PR, do they need social media marketing from there.
Now, how do you kind of differentiate between like public relations, advertising, and marketing?
Yeah, so with public relations, it's going to be most of your free publications, like having media press at an event or being featured in a blog or magazine. So that's going to be free. Some clients do come in asking about advertising or asking about different social media ads. So that's when I differentiate from if they need public relations services or if they need straight up marketing from that.
So in your mind, helping them get into a mentioned in a blog or the newspaper or magazine or the radio, that's public relations. And anything where you're buying space or time or designing an ad that's placed somewhere, that's kind of advertising and marketing?
Correct.
So how did you get into public relations?
Oh, it's a long story, but the short version of it, I went to UAB in undergrad. I started off as a biology major, got into biology. I mean, I like biology and stuff, but it wasn't something that really caught my attention and stuff like that. So at that point, I talked to my advisor and I was like, I don't want to do pre-med anymore. I need to find something else to do. So she was like, well, what do you like doing? And I was like, well, reading, writing, creativity kind of stuff, just trying to help people with different things. So she was like, well, I think you might be interested in PR. So as a lecturer, intro to PR class. So I registered as a minister for intro to PR, fell in love with it, and it's been hitting the ground running ever since then.
So did you, while you were taking your classes, did you get a chance to actually help a client do PR?
During the time in undergrad, I was involved in internships. So I actually had the opportunity to do an internship at UAB, so helping out with their PR office and different interviews for different student groups, different professors that have different studies going on. So it was more of a corporate-based PR, what I started with, and then after graduation, I was able to do other internships, getting more into servicing clients.
So do you remember the first client you worked with?
Yes, I remember the very first client I worked with. It was under my internship with U Management, and her name was Tula Talk. She's actually a media personality, so she does interviews, hosts different events and things like that. So I was able to get in on her first session, so I helped do her launch party of her to her community.
Well, that must have been exciting the first time you saw some of your work being published.
Yes. It was very exciting. With publications and things like that, most of that was with UAB, so being able to put my name on a press release and talk to interviewers and be able to set up interviews, that was my first taste of PR.
So now what's it like being an entrepreneur at your age?
It's very difficult, especially me being straight out of graduation, maybe 4 years now. Some people don't understand that I do know what I'm talking about, but it's been refreshing having people to support me and to be able to help the clients that I have been able to contract.
So now, how do you get those clients?
Basically with social media, I put a lot of ads out on social media, but for me right now, most of it's been word of mouth from family, friends, and other colleagues that I know that talk to people. They end up finding they have a business. They say, well, hey, do you think you need public relations services? I know such and such. I know Keaira. She has her own business. So
Now, when you're working with a new client, have you found that you like certain types of clients? Like, do you like more retail over business to business, or more enterprise versus, kind of entertainment? Do you have a preference yet?
yeah, I mean, I like all of the aspects of PR, but really I like to get into entertainment because it's so spontaneous and then I'm able to show my real creativity. Because like with business or corporate, you have to go by the brand standard. With an entertainment client, you can be out of the box as much as possible.
So then when you're coming up with an idea that's outside the box, how do you kind of sell that into the client? Because if it's outside the box for you, it has to be for sure outside the box for them.
Yeah, so basically, I come up with a PR plan for each client that's tailored to their brand. And at that point, I think it would be more of a trust situation of knowing that I am an expertise in this field and that even if it doesn't work, that we're going to try something different. But with most of my entertainment clients, they are already out the box creative people, so they love the different ideas and not the normal ones.
So what's your kind of an out of the box idea that you had that worked the best so far?
Well, for one of my clients, we ended up doing a focus group. He was an indie musician, and so for most people in the music business, if you're an indie artist, you never do a focus group. You really don't release your music to the public until it's cut ready to go. So with that idea, we wanted to get the public to understand where he was coming from in his music. So being able to hold a showcase with local artists and getting people to come out to actually rate which songs they like before it hits the album, I would say it was more of an out of box situation.
Because then he knew what people like, so he can just pick the ones that were the most popular in the group to help him.
Yeah, yeah, and then if some of them need tweaking or something needed to be fixed, he can go into the studio and fix it before he can put it on his album.
Now, are you using the same techniques that you would recommend to a client for your own business?
Yes, I do.
So what out of the box things have you done to promote your business?
Most of the out of the norm for PR companies is I actually go attend vendor events. So, most vendors have things they can actually sell on hand. I'm still out there, but I'm giving out pamphlets and my business card to different vendors. Like I did one recently at a exercise group out of the box because I don't normally work with people in the fitness world or handle those kind of clients, but you never know until you get your name out there with what people need.
So now, do you have any advice for that small business person out there? Like, if they think, oh, PR, that's too expensive, only the big companies can do PR.
Yeah, my advice would be to try PR. Even if you can't afford the big firms, at least talk to a local firm or even buy. I know it's a lot of PR books out there. PR is like a very vital place, especially even with small businesses, because just a blog or a magazine feature can get them seen into another target audience that they never even would have thought about if they didn't even go PR route.
What about being an entrepreneur? Any advice for that young person that wants to choose the route of entrepreneur rather than get a traditional job?
Yeah, my advice would be to study your craft as much as possible. Um, Being an entrepreneur, not only do I have to work on the client side, I still have to work on the business side. And for me, not having a business background, that kind of pushed things a little behind schedule than what I wanted. But just understanding what it takes to run a business, like just because it's a one person business, you still have to know the ins and outs, what money's coming in, what type of business license you want to have, and clients. So basically be versatile, especially within your first year.
Now, do you have any advice for women that are choosing this path? Because the things important to you are to inspire young women.
Yeah, so basically my thing is my whole brand as a publicist is to inspire young women. So basically PR is not a glamorous job. I know a lot of people watch Olivia Pope and think that's what public relations is, but it is hard work, but it is rewarding, especially if you think that you want to help out different brands. So my advice is to keep studying and keep going, because there were times that I wanted to quit PR because I felt like I was never going to get a client, or I was never going to be able to, compete with the other firms. But just believe in yourself and just keep going.
So now what's next? How can we help you get the word out? What are you working on now?
What's next is basically just ramping up my business and letting people know that I'm here to help.
Now, do you have a mentor or somebody that's kind of helping, giving you advice?
Yes, I do have a mentor. Her name is Lindsay. She actually has her own public relations firm. She's not local, but I bounce ideas off her all the time. And when sometimes we get frustrated, I can rant to her. So she's been one of the ones that's been in my corner about me keep going.
And that probably helps, right?
A mentor definitely helps. I know a lot of people are scared to get mentored. That mentorship isn't for them, but as long as I've been in PR, I've had at least one mentor being on the journey with me. It's helping me understand more about PR and learn more about the business aspect, and even learn more about myself.
Now, are most of your clients in Birmingham, or they can come from anywhere?
Actually, which is funny, most of my clients are not from Birmingham. I'm more of a all over. I had clients in New York. I had a client in Georgia. I do have 2 clients in Alabama, and now I just landed a client out of Chicago.
So because you're so active on social media, the people find you anywhere in the world, really.
Yes.
And then if there's a company out there, what's the exact profile of a company that you would be a good fit to help them?
Well, basically right now I'm doing more entertainment clients. So if you're a musician or artist or author, even small businesses that don't understand PR, I'm willing to listen to find out if we're a good fit or not.
And then the best way to get a hold of you is your website or on social media? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so on my website, I do have a contact form, www.kgtcommunicationsllc.com. You can Instagram page as well.
And that's the same KGT Communication LLC?
Yes.
Well, Keaira Turner, thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Thank you for having me. I love talking to you guys.
All right. This is Lee Cantor for Birmingham Business Radio. We will see you all next time.